Coming back today, this time with an Evolve Orfist and some more premium collection stuff. So let's begin. And by the way, the card of the days are the premium collection stuff. So we start off with Spike Brothers with Lawless King Gali Gabrus. Generic stride stats, I'm not gonna do that over and over. And the skill is Auto Vanguard. When your rearguard attacks, that unit gets plus 10k power at the end of the battle, and then at the end of that battle, you put it to the bottom deck, and this effect is mandatory. So basically the break ride skill of Bad End Dagger, but this time on a stride, which is not bad for Spike Brothers because that is what you want to do, especially because it combos well with the second skill, where Auto Vanguard, when this card attacks, costs Soul Blast 1, search your deck for 2 greater or less cards and call them to open rearguards. And then of course shuffle your deck, then those rearguards get boosted until the end of turn. Well, first off, this one gives you at least 5 attacks, but not only that, it gives you on place again, which can trigger more Spike Brothers skills to give you even more calls. So another nice option. To the G Guard, Compassion Queen Villainous Evita. The skill is, when placed on Guardian, cost count plus 1, choose 3 normal units from your drop zone, and then this unit's shield is increased equal to those units' shield values. And if one of those chosen units happen to be a grade 3, you also draw a card. And then you put all the chosen units by this ability to the bottom deck in any order. Pretty nice, it lets you recycle. Some of your grade 3s are definitely key pieces that you want in your deck, so that's pretty nice that it gives you an extra draw for giving you no shield value. And even so, many of the normal units are very valuable in the deck anyway, which will have at least 5k shield. You decide to choose a grade 1, well, it gives you 10k shield instead if they're V values. So decent tech. Next, Blue Furious Charge Dragon Ferocious Dragon. Long as title. Its skill is Auto Vanguard. At the end of the battle, this card attack, cost count plus 1, turn a G card face up, and then you get an imaginary gift Excel. Choose the same number of rearguards as face up cards in the G zone and stand them. And then choose one of your rearguards and then move it to the additional rearguard circle and then plus 10k. That is guaranteed because you're getting an Excel marker, which could be another plus 1 if it's Excel 2. But not only that, this card gets stronger over time with Mastery Standing. Sure, they don't get power, but if your opponent's at 5 damage, it doesn't matter. And in many ways, that does cost even more multi-attack skills, let's just say. Next for the G Guard, Rebellious Heavenly Flow General Deianira. The skill is, when put on Guardian, cost count plus 1, perform the following depending on which battle it is. First battle, choose one of your units, plus 5k shield into the end turn. 4 for more, plus 20k shield into the end turn. It's like I Spare Your Dragon, except this one costs a counterblast and your shield value depends on which battle it is. Why do we keep getting these Aquaforce G Guards that are very restrictive? And then we go to Royal Paladin with Stun Divine Knight Erogeus. The skill is Auto Vanguard. When this card attacks, cost count plus 1, turn a G card face up, and then draw the same number of cards equal to the number of rearguards you have, and then choose the same number of cards that you've drawn and call them to rearguard. Then if you have 5 rearguards, you get Imaginary Gift Force. Another option for more multi-attack, and you do have to remember that there are Royal Paladin cards that require you to be placed on hand, so that does trigger more abilities. Overall, I can say this is an okay stride compared to some of the other Royal Paladin strides, although this probably would be good with the Jewel Knights, because without the grade restriction, you could actually potentially do a lot of stuff. And then the G Guard Faithful Sacred Staff Morghese. The skill is, Auto, when placed on Guardian, choose one of your grade 2 units, and then until the end of turn it gets plus 10k shield, and then this ability. When this card intercepts, costs counter blast 1, soul blast 1, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until the end of that battle. I don't like this because it's another one of those Royal Paladin G Guards that require you to have a grade 2, which means best with Alt Mile, and maybe with Blaster Blade. But Sanctuary Guard can get screwed over by this, so that does suck. And not only that, it's rearguard reliant, so against control decks, well, this G Guard is practically useless. I mean, adding a 15k intercept isn't entirely bad, and also giving it a PG ability isn't entirely bad either, especially because you could actually guard with this and then give the grade 2 the ability, which could be for 2 separate attacks. So in a way, this could act for 2 defensive cards. Just don't like how restrictive this is. Next, Poison Evil Mutant Deity Morinantis. The skill is Act Vanguard G Zone. Cost counterblast 1, put a rearguard to soul, and then choose one of your opponent's standing rearguards and retire it. If a card was retired, draw a card and countercharge 1. If no cards were retired, choose one of your opponent's vanguards and it gets minus 10k into the end turn. But if this card is on Vanguard while you have a face-up copy of itself face-up, you can turn a face-down card from your G-Zone face-up instead. So one big thing I really like about this card is that when your opponent has a standing rearguard, it punishes your opponent. And it doesn't even have to be on your Vanguard. It could literally be just face-up in the G-Zone and you could still activate it. So that pretty much gives your opponent encouragement punishment to actually use all their rear guards and rest them. But even if they don't have anything, well, you can drain your opponent's power and it can stack, because the more of these face up, the more you could actually activate. And then to the Chi Guard, Constraint Mutant Deity Crew Weeby. The skill is auto when placed on Guardian, cost Soul Blast 1, shield plus 30k until the end of that battle. But then, your opponent can choose any number of their rear guards and rest them. And then this card gets shield minus 10k until the end of battle for each card rests. So first off, being a 45k shield is pretty buff, but the second part of the skill where it lets your opponent choose whether to decrease it isn't entirely bad either, because the more they rest, the more attacks they could potentially lose or even their boosters. And in a way, this could actually force your opponent to rest everything so you could activate every of your skills at full power. So a nice tech option. And now the Tuesday stream. First off, here are some more characters for Wildress, and I am glad that Mirai is back. And also more power counters for the premium collection. Skipping the collab and going to Festival Collection, starting with Cardinal Principal Regio. Grade 1 AK Power and Skills. Auto Rearguard. When a Shadow Army token is retired from Rearguard during the turn, this card gets 5k until the end of the turn. Yes, this does stack, and if you do call something on top of the Shadow Army token, that does count as a retire. I don't think there's going to be room to run this, especially for the spacing of the deck. And now to Evolve Orfist, Cardinal Dominus Orfist Regis. Grade 3, 30 power and skills. Auto when placed on Vanguard, choose one world card from your hand or drop zone and put it to the order zone. This is actually very nice to bypass the cost of the world cards. And then to the second skill, Auto Vanguard. When this card attacks, if your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, cost Counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand. For every 2 world cards in your order zone, call up to 1 Shadow Army token to rearguard. And then this card gets plus 5k power until the end of that battle. So more world cards make this card more powerful. And now thanks to this card, we do now have Shadow Army multi-attack. The only thing is, unlike the original Orfist, this doesn't generate the tokens as consistently. But considering that you do have a good number of Shadow Army token support cards that can call more tokens in mid-battle, it isn't actually entirely bad to use this. And comboing with some of your Cardinal rear guards that can retire during mid-battle, you can actually get even more attacks off. So this is based on player preferences, but I overall like it. So that's it for these reveals. What do you guys think about the Premium Collection along with the new Orfist stuff? Premium Collection is just basically more options like usual, and they're overall pretty decent. The new Orfist card, it's not too bad, but doesn't generate the tokens as consistently as the original, but you do have rearguard support cards that can help you with that, but there is a lot of potential for multi-attack with that one, and that's all I really have to say about it. But on that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.